So go ahead and the title for it's gonna be fractions to decimals. Okay, so today I'm gonna teach you how to go from fractions to decimals. Please copy what I'm doing. I also have it in it's being recorded, so in case you're confused, you can always go back and check. Okay, so this is page 3. So if you're new to me, because some of you are new to me, skip 2 pages and you should be at page 3. This is your notes journal, okay? Notes journal. The one, it's this one. It's your notes journal. We have classifying number, page 1. Division as fractions, page 2. And this one, I do not give you, I am gonna give you one like this, but not yet. I first teach you how to do it, okay? Fractions to decimals, okay? Now, the first thing I want you to put is why we do this. We want to change everything to decimals because it reminds you of what everybody likes. What? Money. Okay? That's why I want to change everything to decimals. Second thing, it will be easier to compare because since we're used to money, we could quickly tell if somebody has 50 cents and somebody else has 35 cents, who has more? If somebody has 50 cents and somebody has 35 cents, who has more? 50 cents. So it will be easier to compare. It will be easier to order. If you want to put them in order, it will be easier to order them. And what I mean by order them, it could go from least to greatest, L to G. Or it could go from greatest to what? Least. So I'm trying to tell you why I like to change from fractions to decimals. Because it reminds you of money. It will be easier to compare. It will be easier to order them, least to greatest, greatest to least. And finally, it will be easier to locate in a number line. It will be easier to locate in a number line. Questions? So I'm giving you the reasons. Why would I want to change fractions to decimals? Well, because I'll be able to think of money, and money is easier to understand because we all deal with money daily. If you really need to go ahead and go. Okay? There's the pass. Thank you. Leave it open so the guy won't be sparked outside. It'll be easier to compare who's greater, who's least. It'll be easier to order them from least to greatest, greatest to least. It will be easier to locate in a number line. That's an L, not a B. Sorry about my handwriting right there. This is locate. That's an L. Nomás que salió medio cerquitas. Questions? Okay, so now I'm going to teach you how to change from fractions to decimals. We kind of already know. Okay, we're going to use the system of A divided by what? B. We already know this from last week. Okay, at least some of you got the point. Well, this guy is the one on the what? Bottom, and I want you to always think of bottom out. So guess what? B is always gonna be outside. So changing from fractions to decimals, that's what we're gonna do. Okay? A divided by B, bottom out. the bottom has to stay out. Okay? So I'm going to start with the first fraction, the easiest fraction. I'm going to give you the fractions that we need to be very familiar and so you can see. We're going to start with half. Okay? So quickly, I know that this means 1 divided by 2, so I'm going to go 1 divided by 2. Now if you notice, the bottom is on the what? Outside, right? That's good. That's what we want. Put your decimal at the end. Your decimal at the end. Questions so far? So all I did is I put them ready to go. 1 divided by 2, 1 divided by 2, bottom out. Questions? Now let me ask you a question from elementary. Is this fraction proper or improper? Proper. When you have a fraction that's proper, there is not going to be no holes. So you already know that if it's proper, there should be no holes. Okay? And if there's holes, you're doing something wrong already. So let me tell you one more time. If the fraction is proper, there should be no holes. Okay? How do I know that fraction is proper? The top number has to be smaller than the bottom. The numerator has to be smaller than the denominator. Okay? Let me prove to you that there's no holes, obviously. Is 1 enough for 2? No. You see? There's no holes. We already knew that since the beginning. Since this was a proper fraction, there should not be holes. Now what happens if there isn't enough? I told you to add a what? 0. When you add zeros, you're making more pieces. Now we have 10 pieces. Okay? Now, 10, is that enough for 2? Yeah. 2 times what? 5 is 10. There it is. Now I know that 1/2 equals 0.5. So I can go over here and say 1/2 equals 0.5. But Mr. Rivera likes money. So what can I do to this guy so he can look like money? Add a what? No, the decimal was there. Add a what? Good job, Mihai. Which becomes 50 cents. Questions? That's how to go from fraction to decimal. The next one. 1/3. And I'm just showing you the ones that are the easiest right now, or the ones that, so you can kind of get familiar with. By the way, once we're done, we can do a little bubble around this guy. Ya acabamos con esta. This would be the answer, so I like to box the answers. This would be the answer. 1/2 is 50 cents, 0.50. Okay? See, 1/3. 1 divided by 3. Who goes outside? 3. And if you notice how we stretch that division symbol. Put your decimal quickly. That's the main thing. Put your decimal quickly. And go ahead and ask yourself, is this a proper or improper? Huh? Proper or improper? Proper. So should we have holes?
No.
No holes. But let's check. Is 1 enough for 3?
No.
You see? No holes. Now, what do I do here? I add a 0. Now 10. Is 10 enough for 3? Yes. 10 is enough for 3. Yes. If you have $10, you have enough for 3 kids? Yeah. 3 times what? 3. Now 10 minus 9 is 1. Now look at the difference between the first one and the second one. The first one had no remainder. This one has a remainder of what? 1. When that happens, we add another what? 0. So don't panic. Like, if that happens, we're going to add another 0.
No, sir. You can go to my iPads. And I can't forward.
No. Okay. 0 comes down. Now we have a what?
A 10.
A 10. 3 times what gives me 10? I'll show you to the nurse in a minute. 3 times what? 3 gives me 9. And 1 again. What do you notice already? Yeah, it's repeating. 10, 9, 10, 9. So guess what's going to repeat up here? 3, 3, 3. We can stop now because it looks like money. Doesn't it look like money? How many cents is that? 36 cents. So I'm going to stop now. But since I know it's a repeater, I'm going to do this. 1/3 equals 0.33 and put a little notation bar that shows the repeating bar. This would be the answer. And now I can bubble this. This took longer because he kept on repeating. Questions? If I would get a calculator, some of you are going to be able to use a calculator. So let me just show you how this would be. 1 numerator, here's the division, divided by what? 2, and this would be 0.5. Isn't that what we got as the first one? Yeah. Okay. ¿Ya trabajo? Okay, ahorita. Okay. Now look at the repeater. If you're a calculator kid, 1 divided by 3. Calculator kids will be allowed to use the calculator for their homework, but they still have to show me just the setup. You won't have to show me the whole thing. You'll just set it up, like 1 bottom out. Just set it up for me and put the answer on the top. Put it this way and you're done because you're using a calculator. The kids that are not calculator students will have to do the whole division process to show me that you know how to divide. So some of you, your work will look very different than others. Let me show you the kids. Don't copy red. I'm just going to show you. If you were a calculator kid, this is the way you would do your work. Okay? So let's say you had 1/3 and you're going to change it to decimal. You would do this, calculator kid. Okay? So you would go, don't copy red. We never copy red in my class. Bottom out, the bottom stays out. You will put your decimal. You will put your decimal. Okay? And then you would come here and just punch it in like I did here. 1 divided by 3. Okay, let me get rid of that. Go back to my mouse. So 1 divided by 3. And that would be the answer. Okay? So how would the calculator do it? Like I said, you would go 1 divided by 3. You would still set it up. But you would just put the answer on the top. You will not have to show me all the work. That's it. And then put your final answer. 1/3 equals 0.33. And then you would box. So the difference between the calculator kid and the one that does not have calculator kid is just simply that. This kid does not have to go times what and then subtract times what and subtract. He'll just punch it in. But he still has to set it up, or she still has to set it up. Questions? But some of you still do not know who's a calculator kid. You'll find out very soon. Okay? Get rid of that. Now, we just care about the first ones, guys. Right there, up to the 100th, because money goes to the 100th. That's it. Okay? So if you ever get something like this, or like, that's why I stopped. I could have added another 0, and then it would still be 3. And I could keep on adding zeros, and you'll never finish because this is a repeater. So where do I like to stop? I like to stop in the second one. Sometimes I like to go to the third, but still worry about money, which is this part. Okay, you'll see sometimes I will go to the third. Like right now, then, not the next one, but very soon another one. Questions with the first two? Okay. The next one. 1/2, 1/3, so 2/3 will be next. Now we are going to go to the back this time. Here we go. Bottom out. So who's in the bottom?
3.
So you better put them out. Make the little division long symbol largo because put your decimal quickly. Put your decimal quickly on top and bottom. And then we start. First of all, is it proper or improper? So there's not going to be holes, but let's check. 2, is that enough for 3? Oh, no. Right? What do I do when there's not enough?
You have to put 0.
You add a 0, which is making more pieces, guys. Now we have 20/10ths, basically. That's you just made more pieces out of the 2 holes. Now, 3 times what gives me 20?
6.
6. Now, what's 20 minus 18?
2.
2. Or some of you might want to regroup. You can regroup. This becomes what? 10. This becomes what? 1. You want to regroup? That's fine with me too. You're still going to get 2. Oh, that's a remainder. What do? You're copying, sir? You what? What do you do? Well, that's a remainder. What did I tell you to do? You add a 0 and drop it down. Anytime it's a remainder, you add a 0. Now 3 times what again? You got 20 again, so 3 times what again? 3 times 6 is 18. What's going to happen if I drop another 0? It's going to be again what? 20. So we can stop already, and what can we put on the top? A little bar that says that this is going to repeat. Now I know that 2/3 equals 0.66. Box it. You're done with 2/3. And we'll put a bubble around 2/3. Questions with 2/3? No? Good. 1/4 is next. Who goes outside?
4.
4. Inside? 1.
1.
Decimal. Decimal. And here we go. Bottom out is a strategy. The 4 stays on the outside. 1, is that enough for 4?
No.
What do I do?
0.
0. 10, is that enough for 4?
No.
10, yes. 4 times what?
8.
4 times 2 is
8.
8. Now you can regroup. I can already see it this way. 10 minus 8. 10 minus 8. 2. Drop a what? 0 again. We keep on putting zeros until we don't have anything or we know that it repeats. 4 times what gives me 20? 5. Is this going to repeat? No, yeah, you're done. So what do I know about 1/4? 1/4 is 0.25 or 25 cents. You want to think of money. But with that guy, who do you think is next? If this is 1/4, who do you think would be next? 2/4. I'm going to do all the fourths. But guess what? 2/4 will be for homework. 2/4 will be for homework. Do the homework, please. Next page, because this is going to continue. We need to title it. So this is going to be still fractions to decimals. And it's still, this will be page 4. Same title, because we're still working with fractions to decimals. And the next one is 3/4. Guess what? That will be for homework. I'm giving you the easy ones for homework, by the way. So 2/4 is for homework, 3/4 is for homework. If I do not know what I'm doing, I can go watch the video that I'm going to put in the link. It's going to be on my YouTube channel that I create for the kids. And don't forget to ring the bell, like, and subscribe. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not making money out of it. I'm doing it to help you. Why did I choose YouTube? Because most kids have a phone. So if they're having trouble with a computer, with a link, they can go to YouTube and they'll still find the video. Okay? It's going to be called Fractions to Decimals video. 3/4, you're going to go home, do it. Más o menos, I think you have enough about right there, so you can kind of like draw a line. That should be enough for your work. I'm estimating because I already kind of know. Who's next after 1/4?
4,
4/4 would be a whole. I'm glad that you mentioned that. I haven't talked about that. 1/2. Look, let me, since you mentioned that, that's good. What's your name, sir? You're really doing good. Huh? Antonio? Ortiz? Okay. 1/2, and I didn't go to 2/2 because that would be one whole. 1/3, 2/3, 3/3 would be one whole. 1/4, 2/4 would be 3/4, and then 4/4 would be one whole. So I'm not doing the ones that are the same because we know it's a what? A whole. So I'm not doing those because we should know that if I have 4 out of 4, pues you ate the whole thing, right? You have the whole dollar. So 3/4 will be for homework, okay? 1/5, I'm gonna do it, and 2/5 will be for homework. So 1/5, I'm gonna do it with you 1/5. Okay, 1/5. Bottom out. 5 goes outside. 1 comes inside. By the way, some of you, how do you read this guy? No, how would you read it? Would you read it 5 divided by 1, or would you read it 1 divided by 5? Huh? No, it's 1 divided by 5. So this is read the same way as this. Some of us are still having trouble with that. This is read 1 divided by 5, and this is read 1 divided by 5. Don't forget that. Okay? Here we go. 1, is that enough? No. Add a 0, right? 10, is that enough?
2, yes.
5 times what gives me 10?
2.
2. Good job.
That'll be 10.
Do I have to add a 0? Do I have to keep on putting zeros?
No,
it's done. So the answer is 1/5 equals 0.2. But because Rivera likes money, I'm going to just add a 0 at the end to make it 20 cents. I am done with 1/5. Questions with 1/5? Good, because you'll be doing for homework 2/5. Okay? Remember, the key is that if you have remainders, keep on adding zeros until it repeats or stops. Or until you get to money like 20 cents, whatever. 3/5. That will be for homework too. And I'm not giving that much space because they should not take you that long. 4/5, I will do it for you. So 2/5 will be for homework. 3/5 will be for homework. Just change the decimals, and 4/5, but I'm gonna do it with you right now. Bottom out. So who goes outside? 5. Inside? 4. How do you read this?
4, 6. No, it's 4.
4 divided by 5. 4/5. Yeah. This is 4/5. 4 divided by 5. 4 divided by 5. Put your decimal at the end. That's why many kids forget. They forget to put the decimal quickly. Put it quickly because then you're going to put it in the wrong place. 4, is that enough?
No.
No. What do I do? I add a 0. Whenever you don't have enough, you keep on adding zeros. Keep on adding zeros. 40, is that enough?
Yes.
Yes. 5 times what gives me 40? 8. Number papitas. The answer is 4/5 is the same thing as 0.8. They're equivalent. This guy is the same thing as him. But what do I like? I like what? Money, so I'm going to add a 0, 80 cents. That will be the answer. Questions? Okay. So for homework you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. 25 points each. Okay? I'm going to continue giving you notes, but please do not forget those 4 questions. I am going to go around and grade them when you come back. Okay, tomorrow. Todavía voy a seguir. No acabo todavía. Don't put it away. Like this one takes long. We're barely in the 5th. Go to the back page. Pero for homework, I'm done. That's it. So since I'm done for homework, okay, the rest I'm going to do it with you. 1/6 1 divided by 6. Decimal, decimal. Is 1 enough? No. What do I do when that's not enough? What do you do when there's not enough? Add a 0. 10, is that enough? 6 times what is 1? What if I do 2? It'll go over. That's too much. We only have 10. So times 1 would be 6. Again, 10 minus 6 is 4. If you don't know, you can count up like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where did I stop? So I stopped with 4 fingers. So 4. Now, here's where kids, at this point, many kids, when you go home, you're going to forget. Ay, ¿ahora qué hago? What do you do if there's a remainder? Add a 0. So you got to the top and say, let's drop another 0. Which you're making more pieces, basically. Tomorrow I'm going to show you with manipulatives what I mean with more pieces. 40. Is that enough for 6? Yes. 6 times what gives me close to 40? Now, let's pretend that you don't know your times tables by memory. Because you write them down. 6 times 1, 6 times 2, 6 times 3, 6 times 4. Ni modo. There's nothing wrong with that. The kid that writes them down on the side, you have them ready, you can check. It is 6 times 6. Very good for the ones that know their times tables. What's 6 times 6? 36. I'll make this guy a 10, this guy a 3. 10 minus 6 would be 4. Otra vez 4. So what do I do again? I add a 0. Otra vez salió 40. So guess who's going to be it again? 6. And look what came out again. 4. So I can stop now. I know who's going to repeat. Who's going to repeat from the top? The 6. So I can put a little bar there. Okay? Now, 1 6 equals 0.16. Now, look what Mr. Rivera just did. He got rid of the other 6. I went to the third one because I wanted to make sure that it was a repeater. I didn't stop there. I said, let me continue at least to the third one. That's a good idea, guys, for all of you to do. Like, if you keep on getting remainders, go to the third one at least. But once I'm ready to put it as my answer, I don't want the third one. I want it like money. Since this guy's a repeater, I can put the bar there and say, okay, the 6 is going to repeat forever. Okay? Questions? You could put the whole 3, but then when we start comparing and ordering, you're going to have a hard time because I want you to think like money. Okay? So, I went all the way to the third one to make sure it was a repeater, and I saw, okay, if I add a 0, it's going to repeat again. I can check with my calculator too. Let's see if it's true. 1 divided by 6. You see that 6? It continues repeating. Okay? Yeah, it becomes a 7 because the calculator on purpose rounds off the last one to the nearest, to the next one. That's why it does it. Okay? But it's a repeater. If I would have continued, it would continue. So once I know it's a repeater, because I saw 40, 36, 40, 36, I know that 6 is going to repeat. I can put a little bar there to show that it's repeating. But when I put as my answer, I want it like money. Trust me. Let's make everything like money, and it'll be easier when we start comparing and ordering and all that good stuff. Question with 1 6? Bubble. Guess who's next? 2 6. Bottom out. 6, 2, decimal, decimal. And here we go. Is 2 enough for 6? No. So what do? I add a 0. Is 20 enough for 6? Yes. 6 times what gives me close to 20? 18. So 6 times what? 3 is 18. What's 20 minus 18? What do I do when there's a remainder? Add a 0. Add a 0 and drop it. Oh, we got 20 again. So guess who's going to be again? The 3 with who? I'm going to go to the third one on purpose just to make the point. 20 again. So guess who's gonna be there again up there? 3. I get the point. It's a repeater, right? You saw it. Look, 2018, 2018, 2018. Who's gonna continue repeating?
The 2. The 3.
The 3. So let's put a bar there. Now I know that 26 is equivalent to 0. What? 3, 3, and stop there because I want it to look like money. 33 cents. I'm done with 3-6. I mean 2-6. Questions with 2-6? 3-6. You go do it by yourself. Like do it now so I can see that you learned something before you leave. Do 3-6 by yourself. I don't care. I'm not trying to be rude. I don't care about that. You know why I don't care? Because it's freaking open. Okay? They could just go like that and check in and it's open. Try 3-6, guys. A ver si se siente. No. If you're failing, I will be calling your parents today to let them know. You have an excuse because you've been out. So tell her, I mean, your mom's going to get a fire report that says 0. Well, it's obvious why, because you've been out. But now that you're back, that's why I want you in fourth period. So, let's see. Amado was party. Janelle Bermuda was party. Amber Gomez was party. And like really party. 8:27 already. Angel Leal, did he ever show up? You should be doing 3-6, guys, please. You should be doing 3-6, please. I'm gonna stop the recording now.